ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and I hope that your weekend has started well. It is a bit of a warm one again here in the UK, and they said on the weather forecast, if anything, it's going to be getting warmer. And I said to the TV, I don't want it to get warmer, but it's going to get warmer apparently next week. Thankfully, the air conditioning unit that I ordered arrived today, so that's what I've been trying to set up, and hence why I've probably forgotten, as always, to do something with the setup of the live stream. But I do have the air conditioning unit going at the moment, and it's a new one, so it means that hopefully it's a bit better or quieter than the other one. So hopefully you can hear me and it's not too offensive going off in the background. But as you guys know, over on Patreon, the other air conditioning unit that I had, it's actually really old and it still kind of works, but it's really loud, and I think it's just getting louder with age. So it means that actually being able to do anything like videos or live streams and actually keep the room cool is going to be a bit of a nightmare. And the other problem is that you have to have the exhaust pipe going out somewhere out of a window, and generally if I have the exhaust pipe going out the window here, then it kind of nullifies the soundproofing that I've done to the room. So it means that people will probably start complaining from outside saying, what's going on at this time of night? All of this noise and all of these jams that are happening at like midnight. So yes, it means that hopefully, fingers crossed, we are good to go in the future with the new air conditioning unit. Tonight's its first attempt, its first trial, so we will see how it gets on. Seems to be working at the moment. I'm thinking maybe what I should have done is clear a direct route so that it's kind of blowing at me rather than in the room, because I can start to feel things getting a little bit warmer as soon as we start the live stream. For some reason, maybe it's just the computer warming up, or just the fact that I've been here for 45 minutes to an hour getting everything set up probably doesn't help. Maybe you should just kept it going before we started the live stream. But anyway, it's on now. We will see what happens. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. You know who you are, and I mean the very reason that I can even buy an air conditioning unit for the room and keep things moving and not just die of dehydration because of how ridiculously hot it is here in the UK at the moment. But thank you guys at the bottom of the screen. You know who you are. And let's give a quick shout out to you guys in the live chat room tonight. We have Julesy, Chandra of the North, Tammy, Bev, Bob's in there, Old Silver, Anna, Annika, Francis, Terry, Billy, Buckeye, Clay, Fan, and Tammy, Joni, Liz, Annika again, Cindy, Jill, Charlie, Shawnee, Key in the house, Maria as well, Linda, Ginny and Paul in there, Desert Deluge. Hello guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Now let's see if we can get a spike of the lights going on early in tonight's live stream, because I think on the previous live streams we've left it right until the end to hit the target. So let's have a click on the likes goal to see what we're aiming for tonight. It is 315. That's the target that we're going to be trying to hit. So every single thumbs up is much appreciated. And it's Phil Jam number 18. That's what we're going for tonight. We will see how we get on with that. And I can see actually that on my screen, the likeometer has totally disappeared, as it always does as soon as we go live. So that's now grabbed it, so we can get it up on screen. It is 166. I think we just had a quick jump of 6 there. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. We are at 168 out of a 315. Maybe if we can get close to, what, 200... we'll just try and do it as quickly as possible, but every single thumbs up as you come through the door is much appreciated. It really helps this live stream to get out there, but for the channel to grow on the whole. So the other thing that we have on the live streams is the vote for the cover video, which is between Lay It on the Line and Silence is Broken. And I think that Silence is Broken is a rollover from the last live stream that we did, because I don't think that won. I think it was my collab with Cena that won. So that one is still available. Maybe it can win tonight, but I can see that Lay It on the Line has 55% of the vote. So if you guys want to hear a little bit of Damn Yankees, then make sure that you vote for that track. Or if you like a bit of Triumph, then just go for Lay It on the Line. Obviously, it's my version of those songs. Right, now, I do always say on these live streams that you don't have to donate just watching the live streams. Watching the channel is great. Just maybe commenting, hitting the thumbs up, all that kind of cool stuff is much appreciated, as well as subscribing and hitting the notification bell. And I know that sometimes it seems to be the case that sometimes YouTube doesn't tell people about the videos, and I think that's maybe just hitting the bell. You have to make sure that you hit the bell, because occasionally I get messages that say something like, "Great to see you're back on YouTube." and I say, I haven't been anywhere. I'm literally here every single night for the analysis videos on a Wednesday, a Friday, a Sunday, and then live streaming on a Tuesday and a Saturday. So as you guys know, the regular viewers know that I'm always here and I never really go anywhere. And it's just interesting that sometimes I think people that are subscribed that don't hit the bell sometimes don't get notified for the videos, so then I can disappear even though I haven't disappeared. That's just a YouTube algorithm thing. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. So let's get into tonight's live stream, and I will address the donations. As you guys always know, we go through all of the donations that happen between live streams, even if they happen in between live streams. Whenever they happen, we do address them. So the first one that came in from Paul for $2, that was in the super chat window, so thank you for that, Paul. And that says, "Spike the likes, folks, peace and love to all y'all." Now let me actually get the donations tab up on screen so that you know, if you do donate, if you can't resist it, that between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the PayPal window, through the Super Chat window, and through the PayPal window, and you can find a link for that in the description below. It's technically not even a window. So through PayPal, they take between 3 and 5% per donation. So there you go. Just to clarify, YouTube takes 35 to 45%, PayPal takes between 3 and 5%. There you go. Just to make sure I'm not confusing people with my attempt at trying to explain it all. So anyway, 194 likes, looking for 6 more to get up to 200. We will see. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, that'd be great if you could do that. And we will keep an eye on that. Not too far to go. Right. Let's just quickly jump into the PayPal donations window, because we had a donation in there that came through. Actually, it says it was an e-check from Tammy, so I haven't seen one of those before, but thank you for that, for £14.37. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Nicole donated £16.26. Thank you for that, Nicole. The message is, "Hi Phil, I wish you a nice weekend while waiting for the Warnings concert Monday. Love and cheers." So thank you for that, Nicole. And yes, I am due to go and watch the Warning on Monday. I've been invited down to check them out. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty much just following on from their previous gig, where at the end I spoke to Rudy, their manager, and he invited me down on Monday, so I'll be down there. If anybody's going to see the Warning on Monday night, or maybe Monday afternoon, I think I'm getting there a little bit earlier than normal, maybe for the whole meet and greet thing. So yeah, if you're going to be there, that's where I will be. If you do see me, come and say hello, maybe get a picture, and then we can show it on the live streams. And I think maybe this gig will be a little bit easier to take pictures at, because the previous one was very much a no photos, no videos kind of thing. But the one on Monday's at the O2 Academy in Islington, and from my experience of that particular venue, I think that's okay for pictures and all that kind of stuff from what I remember. But it's one of the venues that I haven't played, but I was offered to play there. But in order to play there, it was the same deal, because obviously it's original music, and that's pretty much what they deal with, but generally signed bands. But as an independent artist, an independent band, we had to sell £250 worth of tickets. And once you've sold that, it's like, once you've sold all of those tickets, then for every ticket after that, you make £1. And I thought, yeah, that's not really worth the effort, because it means that if you sell £250 worth of tickets, the venue's going to be quite full, and it's going to be a decent gig, but we're not making any money, and that's just the standard thing. And then they say, right, but if you sell one more ticket than that, then we'll give you £1. So it means, okay, so say that we sell 100 more tickets, that's £100 we make, and there's 4 of us in the band, so that's £25 each that we've made for that gig. And yeah, our rehearsals cost, you know, what, 50 quid. It used to be 40 quid, but then it went up to 50 quid a time. Couple of rehearsals a week is 100 quid. So you've only just broken even on your rehearsals for the gig, so you haven't actually paid for your petrol. So it means that you can't even, you can say, right, well, we've broken even, but we can't get to the gig, so we're going to have to cancel it. So anyway, yeah, that was the O2 Academy in Islington. But I have lots of different stories about promoters and different venues and how ridiculous their terms are and contracts and all that kind of stuff. So that was one of the venues that I was offered to play, but the offer that's the offer. That's the kind of offer you get when you're an original independent band here in the UK. So their offer is, look, you give us £250, bring lots of people so that we make lots of money as well from them buying drinks, and we will let you play. But it's the case that we're bringing the people, we're the ones doing the work, and actually going out selling the tickets leading up to the gig. But anyway, yeah, I'll be going there. Fortunately, not under those kind of circumstances, but just to check out the warning and to touch base with Rudy again. So thank you for that, Nicole. And Tammy has donated £10 again. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, what is your favourite music related memory? So thank you for that. And my favourite music related memory, I'm not really sure. I would have to have a think about it, but I'd say that finishing third in the biggest unsigned band competition in the UK, at that time it was called Surface Unsigned Festival, and it ran for about 8 months. So there were loads of different rounds, and we were part of the London section, and it was in, you know, it had London, Birmingham, you know, we went into Wales, Scotland, Manchester, Liverpool, all the different places where music's very popular and there are lots of bands. And in our London section, I mean, fortunately, we got through lots of rounds, and then after about, I think maybe 4 or 5 months of gigs, we then got to like the quarterfinals and then the semi-finals. And it was lucky for us that actually the final was then held at the O2 in London. So it meant that we didn't have to travel very far. But of course, the people that are travelling down from up north, they had to, book hotels and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was great because I'm not sure how many bands played in the final. It's maybe around 10 or 12. So there were still quite a lot of bands playing throughout the day. And then, throughout the competition, there's a panel of judges, all that kind of stuff that were, people in the industry. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure how in the industry they were. But, just people that were probably known in the industry, even if they hadn't kind of sold a lot of records themselves. But anyway, we finished third, and then we went on a UK tour after that and had a tour bus and all that kind of stuff. So that was quite cool. So just to finish third for the kind of music that I play, I thought that was great, because in second place, there's more of, I'm not sure, kind of indie rock. That was the kind of sound. And then in first place was a rap act. So I would probably expect those genres to finish quite high up, but for kind of 80s hard rock to finish third, I thought it was quite cool. So yeah, we managed to finish third and then go on tour, and that was all good fun to be on a tour bus and all that kind of stuff. So that's a good memory, but that was a very long process. Like I said, kind of 7 or 8 months worth of gigs in order to get to that point. But I think it was about 10,000 bands that entered in for that competition in like the first round. So gig on gig on gig, those numbers just became less and less in each of the different cities throughout the UK, and then eventually getting down to quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then the final at the O2. So yeah, that was cool. But thank you for that, Tammy. And that's got us up to date. I can see that David's donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, David. And the message is, thank you and blessings to you and your family. So thank you for that, David. And yes, for that £5 donation, it was followed up by Anna with a $20 donation. So thank you for that, Anna. And the message is, I sympathise on the warm weather in the UK. I will trade you. Laugh out loud. It runs between 48 and 49 Celsius here. Hugs. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, that 48 and 49 Celsius, that's ridiculous. The hottest that we've ever had here is 41 degrees Celsius, and that was last year. But I think it's because we're not used to it, or at least our houses aren't made for that temperature. Like I said in the last live stream about having, carpets and the houses keeping the heat in. So when it is hot, it's almost exaggerated inside the houses because it just keeps heat in. So the more heat that comes in gets added to the heat that's already there, and yeah, it becomes very uncomfortable. But thank you for that, and hopefully if I can just keep the air conditioning going, it'll be fine. It's very expensive to keep air conditioners going, but I'll put that down to an expense because I think it's worth it to just stay cool, because nobody likes, especially with this hair, nobody likes kind of getting too hot and sweating and it being an absolute nightmare. The problem is when I do get hot, then it starts to kind of all drip from my hair and it's all a little bit disgusting. And just to show you how warm it is, I dropped my hairband in the shower so that it got totally soaked and it's bone dry. And I showered just before the live stream, so whatever the temperature is, it's warm enough to dry things really quickly, which I guess you're going to save on drying your clothing, but you've got to maybe hang it up somewhere. I've got nowhere to hang up my washing, but anyway, it just shows you how warm things are here in the UK, which is a little bit crazy. It's over the last few years, it's just got a lot warmer, and I think it has everywhere. And then in the winters, it's then getting colder because we had -11, which was crazy last winter time. So that's what they say about the whole Earth warming up, that it's going to warm up in the summer and then it's going to cool down in the winter, and there's going to be more rain and more storms and all this kind of stuff. So we'll have to see what happens. And yeah, unfortunately, it's this is something that we do have in this country, where people are protesting against climate change and the fact that the government here aren't moving fast enough. But the problem is that it's a worldwide thing, and I know that the UK produces something like 13% of the gases that are released into the atmosphere for the entire world. And there are other countries that produce a hell of a lot more than that. So it's a really difficult issue. And the problem that we have here with the protesters is that they protest in really silly ways by stopping traffic on motorways. So it means that people who are trying to get people to hospital for treatment can't get there. And people that were trying to, I saw on another channel, and I always forget his name, Piers Morgan. He has a channel on YouTube, and there's a woman there who missed the funeral of her best friend who had died because of these protesters literally just lying down in the middle of the motorway and not allowing people to get past, and super gluing themselves and all that kind of stuff to the roads. So they're stopping people from going to things like funerals and getting to hospital. They're stopping ambulances from getting to people that might be critically ill, and this is the people protesting about climate change. And like Piers Morgan says, if you're protesting about something, you're supposed to be trying to win over people. And I think a lot of people agree with the problem of climate change and reducing the greenhouse gases and the release of them and all this kind of stuff, and people agree with that, but they don't agree with the way that these, if anything, they're alienating people from the cause. So you think, yeah, they need to kind of have... Oh, and I was watching snooker, and two of these people, snooker, I'm not sure whether you get it in the USA, in different countries, but snooker's quite popular here in the UK, and it's kind of like pool, and they have a world championship every year, and that's the only thing that I watch snooker-wise, is just the world championship. Quite similar to golf, in that I watch the Masters, that kind of stuff. Just the main competitions is what I have time to watch, if I ever can watch them. But anyway, these protesters, they ran onto the snooker stage and jumped on the table and released like dry paint and glitter and stuff all over, and hit the balls everywhere, so that they then had to cancel, and they had to change the whole table because of all this powder that got into the surface. And they're trying to win over support for their cause, which people already agree with the cause, but they're disagreeing with the protesting. So yeah, it seems just totally ridiculous that, if anything, they need to go to a PR person and say, what you're doing is so stupid because people already agree with your cause. So you need to be able to... And I know that they're trying to get over the importance of it and the fact that we've got to act now. But you're going to delay how quickly people act because you're alienating people. They've got to find a way of doing it that people understand, and maybe have it explained to them and get empathy with people rather than alienating people. So anyway, there we go. That's what's happening in the UK. And like I said, if you're into the whole Piers Morgan thing, then you can check him out, and he does lots of videos on that kind of stuff that keeps people in the loop as to what's going on in the UK with all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just crazy when I see it sometimes on TV. But anyway, yes, thank you for the donations. I can see that another one's coming over on PayPal. Thank you for that. And Roseanne has donated £5. Thank you for that, Roseanne. The message is, hi Phil, how do singers on a major tour keep their voices from giving out? Taylor Swift is here in Minnesota, and last night she sang 44 songs and has a second stadium concert tonight. Over 60 more concerts this year. So thank you for that, Roseanne. And this can be the thing sometimes with signed bands on major labels. They are made to do a lot of gigs, and generally the record label won't really care about vocal rest days. They'll just book up the artist for as many shows as they can do. And I think a huge part of this is the style of music and the style of singing, the notes that you're hitting. What you'll find, especially in the 80s with hard rock bands and male singers who were hitting notes in the male tenor range, belting in chest voice, after a while their voices gave out because it's such a heavy style of music to sing. If your technique isn't A1, if it's not perfect, if you're belting out songs every night and you're hitting A4s, B4s, C5s, D5s, getting up into that countertenor range, if you're belting those notes out, and you're not doing it with perfect technique, then you're going to burn out your voice. And that happened to a lot of 80s singers and a lot of 80s bands now. When they are playing, I mean, there are a few who had great technique who can still do it. And, Winger are an example of that. Def Leppard as well, another example of bands that are still playing their songs exactly how they used to, in the same key. And even if you drop it by a semitone, a tone, I don't think people really, they don't notice, first of all, but they don't care anyway. They just want to see the great songs performed well. It's when they try and perform it. There are other bands that try and perform the songs in the same key, at the same level, but over the years they didn't have great vocal techniques, so their voices have, been affected. Sometimes they might have smoked or drunk too much, maybe done too many drugs, and that all takes the toll, unfortunately, that it does on the body after 10 or 20 or 30 years. So, but as for the modern day artists like Taylor Swift, with Taylor, her songs are, I would say, comfortable. They'll have high notes in there, but she's not belting out at the top of her chest voice register for every single song. I'd say that she is very much more kind of pop and not really having to lean into her sound like you would do with hard rock and metal and heavy metal and those aggressive sounds and screaming and all that kind of stuff. So for her, she would still have to manage her voice, and this is why a lot of bands say when they tour that they give it a good 70% live, especially if it's a really long tour. You want to give your vocal about 70%, like 30% leeway for every gig, so that you don't push it every time. So imagine that you perform and you push your vocal to its maximum and you really go for your high notes. And what I mean by that is you take your chest voice up to that place rather than maybe using head voice or mixed voice so that it's a bit lighter. And when you start going up in your range, you'll find that at the bottom you'll have you can get quite a and you can still kind of and then you listen to what my voice did there. I didn't go and take that sound. I kind of let it go into my head voice. And these are the things that, when you're talking about great singers, they balance all of this, and they don't take the heavy sound up too high. They allow that high note to have more head voice in, more of that sound. And they can balance that, and that's called mixed voice, where you balance your head voice with your chest voice so that you can sing it and you're still hitting the notes, but you're hitting them probably not as dramatic as that. I'm doing that to show you the difference between the parts of the voice, the vocal registers, so that by going into head voice you can take the pressure off. Now, if I kept on taking that all the way up, that heavy sound, that chest voice, I would then be belting, and it'd be really loud, it'd be really aggressive. But if you're doing night after night gigging, you don't want to be hitting that really heavy sound. You take 30% off the heavy sound, so it still sounds good. Like, I wouldn't go for a really high note that I would have maybe belted in the studio. I would lighten it up a little bit in order to give myself the chance to do it night after night after night after night. And that's something that seasoned performers do. They never give you 100% every single night, and if they do, they will probably most likely burn out their voice if they are belting. And this is another thing that I'd have to look at Taylor's songs and her voice, but from the analysis video that I've done on Taylor Swift, from what I saw, her range that she sings in is where her voice naturally sits. She's not always singing an octave above her talking voice, and that is a really important thing that a lot of guys in the 80s, they were hitting notes in the verse of their songs that were an octave above their talking voice, so they're already pushing their voice, and then they might have to try and get a second octave on top of that, and if you're belting it, then that's going to be a bit of a nightmare. So I think in Taylor's, with that example, in her voice, she doesn't have to push it that much, so her voice won't be as effective as heavier genres who have to either have perfect technique, but then even with perfect technique, it's always a good idea just to take a little bit off it to give yourself that longevity. So that's how people do it. And especially when you're at a gig, it is so loud, people can't hear that 30% that you're not hitting in your voice, because if anything, it's so loud you can't really hear what's going on. You just hit by a wall of volume, so people aren't going to go, oh, this wall of volume that I'm hearing, I think that vocal is 30% less chest voice and maybe 30% more head voice. People don't notice, so this is it. It's getting that balance. So anyway, thank you for that, Roseanne. And Debbie has donated £25. Thank you for that, Debbie. The message is, hi Phil, I'm on catch-up crew tonight. Already spiked my like. Have a great show. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that, Debbie. And great idea there. If you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. So if you haven't been watching for any length of time, that's something that happens sometimes. My brain will take a word from a word that I haven't even said yet, and take a letter from a word and move it earlier in the sentence. So that's what happened. The E from appreciated got moved forward. So anyway, thank you for that, Debbie, the donation, but also for you guys hitting the thumbs up and getting us to 269, almost 270, which means, and there it is right on cue, 270 means that we're looking for another 45 people in that live chat room, maybe 44 people now. So great idea there from Debbie to hit that thumbs up. If you could do it, that'd be much appreciated. And then we will have a Phil jam. We'll bust out the guitar and get into number 18, whichever that track is, when we jump into it. So thank you, Debbie, for that particular donation. I can see there have been a couple more. Liz has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Liz. The message is, love your album Persistence. Is there any new original Wings of Pegasus? That was almost another one there. Original Wings of Pegasus. That would have been Original Rings of Pegasus. Music you are blessing us with in the near future. Rock. So thank you for that, Liz. And I mean, my situation at the moment with future music and albums is that everything, because it's just me, everything that I do on a daily basis, I'm literally 24/7, every single second of every single day, I'm doing something related to either the channel, emails, seeing the warning on Monday, going down to that, having to just make sure that I reorganize my diary so that I can get everything done that I need to in terms of admin. And I think that's a huge part of it when you're doing something like this. And I'm fortunate that I've got so many subscribers, in excess of 300,000. Obviously with that comes a lot of messages, and I do respond to every single message, and I've kind of made a point of doing that. And because that's the way I want to do things, it means that every second of my day is taken up. So until maybe in the future, if I can get a team or designate or do anything like that, I think it is taken for granted in the public that people who have large YouTube channels have a team that help them do things, but with me it's always just me. So at the moment my album's out, obviously, and it's been out for quite a while, and people are still buying it, which is great. And at the moment, if I'm going to be doing more music in the future, then I will need to free up some time. At the moment, just for going out and seeing other bands like The Warning, just freeing up that time means that I'm now kind of double timed on the other hours. For example, on Tuesday I'll be trying to catch up from the Monday admin that I should have done when I go to see the girls perform. But this is it. It's just something that I have to keep organized and do the best that I can. So thank you for that, Liz. By the way, guys, if you want to check out my album, it's over at wingsofpegasus.com/music, and you can download anything that you want there, get the album if you want to. I send them off from here as well. Every album that is ordered, and the signed ones, I sign here and send them off. So that's another thing that I'm fully involved with, and takes up a bit of my time that I generally do on the admin days, is when I sort out the CD orders. But thank you for that, Liz. And Bailey has donated £20 and 20 pence, so thank you for that. And the message is, hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you for the entertainment. It's raining here in Vancouver. Bailey Star, so thank you for that, Bailey. And I mean, when it rains here, it's great because the temperature goes down a little bit, but I think we're having like record dry periods here in the UK for some reason. It's just super warm and quite humid. So we've had one certainly thunderstorm and maybe a little bit of lightning, but mostly just rumbles of thunder, all that kind of stuff. But really warm weather here. And rain would be much welcome, especially for farmers. They've been going through it at the moment because the crops have just been dying out because it's been so hot, which is a shame. But Paul has donated $5 in the PayPal window. Thank you for that, Paul. The message is to help keep your AC running and keeping you cool. So thank you for that, Paul. And that is much appreciated. Yes, keeping cool is huge for me in this room, doing the live streams as well, and the fact that I can kind of keep it running is great. So thank you for that, Paul. But thank you guys for all of your support. It really does make a huge difference. The donations as well, you don't have to donate, as I always say, but of course they do make a huge difference to me being able to do what I do on a daily basis. Thank you, Donald, as well, who has donated £15 and 5 pence, and that is a straight up donation, followed by Sue, who has donated £15 as well. So thank you for that, Sue. Right, let's have a look at the vote for tonight. Lay It on the Line has 58% of the vote, so it looks like we might be jumping into that cover video relatively soon. It's almost 20 to midnight here in the UK. I can see that we're at 286 likes. And by the way, if you are watching this on catch up, then you can hit the thumbs up. It still really does help the live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow, as I've always said. But if you want to get involved over on Facebook, if you are a Facebook user, then there is a Facebook supporters page and a Wings of Pegasus supporters page on Facebook. You can type that in to the search bar and you can join in with that particular group, and that's where a lot of the live stream attendees in that live chat room hang out between the live streams, so you can head over there, continue the conversation, and Bob hosts the after party over on that page, and there are occasional Skype calls as well if you want to get involved with those kinds of things. And I sometimes am linked to the pictures that I can show on here if there has been a Skype call. And I think we just have one picture tonight for Picture Corner, so we'll jump into that after the cover video. I tell you what, it looks like it might be late on the line. I'm going to draw this to a close, the vote for tonight's cover video. And it looks like, yes, Layered on the Line, of course, had 57% of the vote. So thank you guys for voting for tonight's cover video. And to you guys over on Patreon for requesting those songs in the first place, but requesting the song to start the live stream with. And yeah, just giving me some ideas as to what to do on these live streams. Otherwise, I would never be able to decide what to play. So we're going to jump into a little bit of Triumph, or my version of the Triumph Classic. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm just going to make sure that is going to work. Because, yeah, trying to find the hard drives. I think this is one that is going to work. Fingers crossed. I didn't check it before the live stream, so that's something that I forgot to do. But hopefully it'll just jump into it. And I'll see you guys after this. Rock! And there we have it. That was my version of Lay It on the Line. Thank you guys for voting for that song as tonight's cover video. I know that there have been a few more donations in the super chat window. Thank you guys for those. And I just saw that we've passed 300 likes. So we are getting there. We are getting close to a Phil Jam at the end of the live stream. We've still got a bit of time, 1:45, so I think we are ahead of schedule here, but every single thumbs up is much appreciated, and we'll see how close we can get before we end the live stream. We've probably got, what, just under half an hour left maybe, and I mean, depending how long the Phil Jam is, I'll have to maybe check that. I can look at the list here. What are we up to? Number 18, and number 18 is 11 minutes and 25 seconds. So it's going to be quite a long Phil Jam for tonight. That means that we'll have to start at just after midnight in order to get the whole Phil Jam in, but we still haven't hit that target yet. So at 303 out of 315, we will see how we get on. Right, there have been a couple more donations in the super chat window. Thank you for these. And Michael has donated $9.99. Thank you for that, Michael. And the message is, hello, what's your opinion of Suede and Bernard Butler's guitar? So thank you for that, Michael. And I mean, Suede, I mean, this, when I know that they were, I think maybe like early 90s, and this would have been when I was getting into I started playing guitar at 11 years of age, so it meant that, yeah, I had kind of already got into my guitar, like Van Halen, you know, these different, you know, maybe AC/DC, Boston, lots of different kind of bands, rock bands, and then Mr. melodic hard rock. You know, I started kind of getting into all those bands. So the Britpop bands, which I believe Suede were, and it was like in and around Blur. I remember because here in the UK, it was quite a big thing. You had like Blur, Oasis, Suede. Was it? I want to say Pulp, but I can't remember. This is something that I'm trying to bring back from my memory, because this is something I think that my sister would know more about than me, because she listened to all the mainstream songs, the ones that were in the charts, and I was busy listening to Jimi Hendrix and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the Britpop scene passed me by, but I'm trying to think if any Ash was another band. That's a band that my sister listened to. I just remember seeing the cover. But yeah, so anything my sister listened to, I didn't listen to it myself, but I'm sure that I would recognize the songs if I heard them, because it'll be that thing that my sister would have been listening to all those bands. So yeah, not a band that I've particularly checked out in my youth, but now looking back at them, I mean, it might be interesting, to look at the guitar work, because it's not something that I have done since. Actually, kind of looked back and listened to those bands, those Britpop bands. Apart from Oasis are a band that when you're teaching guitar, a lot of their songs are great for beginners to kind of take on and just kind of strum out a few chords. Wonderwall, of course. You can just keep your two fingers in the same place for the whole song. So yeah, for those kinds of purposes, I would know Oasis songs, and I don't think I did really any other Britpop songs other than Oasis for teaching. That they're just a nice stepping stone to then get people into playing songs that they then are into for their own taste, rather than just playing a song that everybody learns to play on the guitar. So yes, not a band, but certainly Bernard isn't one of those that I've jumped into guitar wise. But maybe if there is a particular video or performance you want me to check out, then just put it in the comment section of the YouTube channel. Not pretty much anywhere under any video you can comment and I will see it. But if there is a particular video that you want to link me to, I think on YouTube they've clamped down on the links in the comment section because of all the scams and things going on and impersonating different channels. So it might be best to send through maybe wingspegasus.com, go to the contact page on there and paste in the link to any particular performance, and I can stick it on the request list, and I do get through all of those eventually. So that's the best way to do it. If you want to have Bernard analysed on the channel, to jump into his technique and see what's going on. But thank you for that, Michael. And Not Visible has donated $5. Thank you for that, and says, we will fight on beaches and the landings ground. So thank you for that. Apparently, yes. So Not Visible is going to be, I mean, good weather to go on the beach, but I'd say probably avoid fighting. And that's something that I'm very much supporting, is don't fight, just go to the beach. And more importantly, I'd say go to the beach and maybe don't go swimming in the sea, or at least maybe just paddle for a little bit and then get out, because whenever I see somebody who's been attacked by a shark or something, and everyone's really shocked that somebody's been attacked by a shark, but sharks are literally millions of years old. They've survived everything, and they haven't got the email or the memo that then, you know, that, oh, by the way, we're swimming here, so you're not allowed to attack us. And they're just seeing what these things are that are in their domain. They own the sea. So yeah, if you're going to go swimming in the sea and there might be sharks around, be careful and try not to act like a seal or something, which is quite difficult, especially when you're swimming on the top of the water, because yeah, I'm sure that humans look like seals a lot when you're splashing, when you're doing your swimming. So I'd say, yeah, maybe don't go swimming if it's a bit risky. I can remember I was on holiday. I don't know how old I was, maybe 19. And it's probably one of my last holidays, the most recent holiday that I've had. So yeah, when I was 19, I went on a holiday with some mates from university, and we went on one of those pedalo things. And on this particular pedalo, you had a cycle on it, and it had a slide on the back. So obviously I thought it would be funny. I thought, oh, well, you might as well utilise the slide. We've paid for the hire. So I went down the slide into the sea at the back, and then obviously I can swim. So I thought, oh, that was fun. And then all of a sudden I thought, oh, hang on. I mean, we were, you know, as you would expect, teenagers, and, you know, what, 4 or 5 guys, you know, we were literally pushing the boat out. So we were quite away from the shore. And I then realised, because they kept on pedalling, and I was now in the water swimming against the current, and I realised, hang on, I'm quite deep here, and this is definitely where sharks would be swimming if they were swimming anywhere at this kind of depth. So of course, as soon as I got that in my brain, I swam like nobody's business to get back to the pedalo. But because I was going against the tide, it's obviously quite dangerous, because I think the further you get out, the more the tide kind of pushes you away from the shore. So yeah, I was then trying to do my best to try and swim back to get on this pedalo, not because I just wanted to get back on it, but I was now thinking about, okay, I'm kind of expecting to be attacked by a shark. So yeah, I made sure and thankfully I didn't get attacked. But then I thought, yeah, that was maybe a bit stupid, because if I did get attacked, I've got no excuse, because I'm miles away from the beach, you know, not even close to this pedalo, because they do say that if you are out in the sea, you have to get in a group, because then they might not attack, because they see that it looks like a big animal rather than just individual people or animals. So yeah, it literally would have been looking from the bottom of the ocean. It would have been a big object, like a big animal, and then this one little animal. I would have been, yeah, prime bait for a shark. But anyway, thankfully I survived, and yeah, I'm not particularly keen on going in the water after that, but it did make me swim a lot faster. So thank you. Another donation's come through. Let's get away from, I blame Jaws the movie for that, because I don't know what age I was when I saw that, but I thought it was quite scary but quite good, so I wasn't traumatized by it, but it still doesn't make you really want to go into the water or into the sea for a swim. Generally here in the UK, because the water's so cold and dirty, it means that we don't get many sharks, so it's okay. You just have to avoid, it's not that bad, but used to go to, you know, Dorset and Bournemouth. My mum and dad, that's where they'd take us for our holiday. And yeah, if you went to swim in those seas, I mean, it was so cold, it had to be a really hot day for you to then go swimming, because yeah, it wasn't the kind of waters I think that sharks are particularly into. But anyway, thank you for the donations over on PayPal. And right, 5 to midnight here in the UK. Let's maybe jump into picture corner. I think we just got one picture to look at tonight. So I'll click on this, jump into the elevator, and then we'll look at the picture. And I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. Okay, so the only picture we're going to be taking a look at tonight is of Lynn, and you can see that Lynn is sporting the Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, and we have not only Lynn but Pluto, and you can see that Pluto actually has, you might not be able to see it that clearly, but Pluto has on some Wings of Pegasus wings, and they're not necessarily Wings of Pegasus wings, but they are just wings. So there you go, we have a fully certified Pegasus on the show for tonight. So thank you, Lynn, for sending in this picture. Thank you, Pluto, for posing for this particular picture, and thank you, Laura, for linking me to it in the first place. So if you guys want to send in your pictures, make sure you check out the Wings of Pegasus supporters page over on Facebook. You can upload any pictures there, and then Laura will link me to them. You could join that group as well, join in the conversation, and keep it going after the live streams. Like I've already said tonight, that Bob hosts the after party over there. So thank you for that. And then we come out of picture corner, and we are almost at midnight here, and we have hit the likes goal for tonight's jam. So thank you guys for that, for hitting the thumbs up and getting us past 315 likes. We will be having that jam, and it's 11 minutes in length, so it means we've got a little bit of a window here, maybe a 5-minute window, to do something else. And I'm feeling a riff of the week coming on, so let me jump into my emails to get the updated riff of the week list that Laura has sent my way, and we are ready to have a riff of the week. So if you guys can let me know a number between 1 and 100, we'll have a riff of the week and see who is going to guess it first. Right, I'm just going to wait for that to filter through in the live chat room, because I think it's a little bit delayed as to when I'm talking and then when you guys see exactly what I'm saying. But I'm looking out for some numbers. Okay, Annika 27, we've already had. Laurie 53, we've already had. And Anna 1, I mean, that's an obvious one, we've already had. Right, let's have a little bit of a random jump. Oh, they're moving really quickly now. Random jump. Old Mr. B in the house again says 77, we've already had. I mean, either side of 77 we haven't had. So old Mr. B there was a little bit unlucky. And Mary V 35. Oh, let's have a little scroll down to number 35. And we haven't had number 35. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at tonight. Okay, riff of the week 35. And let's click on that. Click on that. There might be an advert, or maybe not. Okay, it's loaded. Now, as for the screen capture, I'm going to put the background up on screen, because last time it just went right in front of my face. And right there it is. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to hear this over the sound of my air conditioning thing going on in the background, but we will have a listen. I'll try my best to listen so that I can try and figure out what it is. Hopefully it's going to be an easy one, but we're looking for the name of the riff. You can give me the name of the band if you want to, but I mean the name of the song that the riff is from. So give me the song name, song title. You can give me the band if you want to, but let's jump into it, see what happens. And there we have it. That was obviously another very hot day here in the UK. But I mean, everybody's got to get this. And I'm going to wait to see the first guess that is correct. Having a little scroll down. And I think it is Cindy who has said... let me just make sure. Billy says Rainbows, Sunshine of Your Love. Of course. Where did I see? Did Cindy get it before? Yes, Cindy got it before Billy. Cindy said Sunshine of Your Love, Cream. So thank you for that. Not only song title, but name of the band. And scrolling down, I mean, that one was a quite easy one. And thankfully, it's always a bonus when people can figure out what I'm actually playing, because it would be a bit silly if I can't quite get it right. But there we go. And Mike did say Cream, and Ginny said Sunshine of Your Love. Sue said Sunshine of Your Love. So yeah, lots of guesses here. Lucy said Sunshine of Your Love, Cream. And Grumpy Old Bob said Sunshine of Your Love. So yes, congratulations everybody that got that correct. And yeah, having a little look through, it was Cindy who got it first. So congratulations to Cindy. She doesn't win anything apart from being the winner of the quickest typist for getting tonight's particular riff. So congratulations on that, Cindy. Right, let's now... Right, 1 minute past midnight. It always takes me a little bit of time to get organised for the Phil Jam. I'm just going to see if I imagined another donation coming through on PayPal or not. I'm not sure whether it did. So let me have a look just to check. And it was Liz who donated £2. So thank you for that. I'm just going to check if there was another one after or before that. Oh yes, Sue, we got to that one. So yeah, there was another one that I didn't imagine. Liz donated £2. Thank you for that. And the message is, what do you think about the British band Thunder? Love the song Dirty Love. So thank you for that, Liz. And Thunder is a band that I haven't checked out yet. So they must be one that have fallen through the cracks, depending on the style of music and what it is. But yeah, I'll have to have a little look out for Thunder, but haven't checked them out yet. So thank you for that, Liz. Obviously, I can't give an opinion on them. Right, let's jump into tonight's Phil Jam. And there's so many things to click on and organise. It's always a little bit complicated, but it is number 18 that we're looking for or looking at.
A lot of people
clicked on it. It's gone to an advert, so let's mute that and play. And right, this is one of those weird ones that's on a playlist that makes it a little bit confusing. But it says, cinematic rock ballad guitar backing track jam in D minor. And yeah, this is going to go on for 11 minutes and 25 seconds. So hopefully it's not just two chords because we've had that before. But thank you, Donna, who's donated $4.99. Thank you for that. And I've remembered to do the seat before I even grabbed my guitar. So we will grab my guitar and move back maybe a little bit. Oh no, the wire's all round. It's all round the chair. What's going on? Get that out of the way. And I'm actually plugged in to my amp in the background. We're a little bit cleany. Okay, a little bit dirty. What else have we got? Oh, we've got we got a little bit of the wah-wah going on. So that's an option if we want it, and maybe we'll need it because of the backing track being so long. So we will hit play, see what happens. But first of all, this is coming from Elevated Jam Tracks, a channel that we know well. We've got some of their backing tracks before. Elevated Jam Tracks. This is cinematic rock ballad guitar backing track jam in D minor. If you guys want to play along yourselves, then that's the place to go. Or you can jam along with me if you want to. Let me just grab this at my feet. We'll just start. I don't know what this is going to be, so we'll start with a dirty tone, see what happens. Sounds a little bit clean. Sounds nice. Whoa. Okay, let me just get the levels a little bit. Okay, can you hear this? Okay, can hear, sounds good, yes, thumbs up, good mix. Wow, I've never had good mix before. Right, so we can get into it. Let's try clean. Okay, this is quite a cool backing track. We've got lots of changes and changes in dynamics, which is good. how long we got left of this. Okay, right, we've got 3 or 4 minutes, which is good. Let's just go straight dirty with this. Oh! And it cuts out. Okay, it's now going to be, I think, the dude is going to play his solo. So this is the guy that I think does the backing track from Elevated Dram Tracks. We'll have a listen. I need like a lighter or a phone or something. Okay. I'm just seeing how long it went on for. We're just sitting here for 10 minutes. Yeah. Oh, and that's it. Thinking maybe it's going to fade out.
Hey, if you're not serious.
No, it didn't. It's just a sudden ending. There you go, into an advert. So there was no way, absolutely no way of smoothing that over, or getting that finished in a good way. But anyway, there we go. That was a cool backing track. That's probably one of the better ones, if not potentially the best one we've had, because there are lots of changes there. And we went into a little kind of clean section, sort of that. Oh, I could have even done some, some of that wah wah. But what I'm thinking of is I didn't think quick enough to to start fading in notes. But anyway, there we have it. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up and getting us a Phil Jam number 18 for tonight. And I'm going to be back with another video tomorrow night, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. And I'm going to see the warning on Monday. I'll keep you guys in the loop over on Patreon as to how that all goes. And on Tuesday, I'm going to be live streaming again. So if you guys are available on Tuesday, then I will be live streaming at exactly the same time, same place, 11 p.m. And that's Greenwich Mean Time, if you want to work out your time zones. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and for the very kind donations, even though you don't have to donate, but for hitting that thumbs up as well, which is great. And you guys that are in the catch-up crew, thank you guys for watching and still hitting that thumbs up. It really is much appreciated. So we're going to be back tomorrow night. I'll see you guys on Tuesday if you are available. And as I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live in. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Just making sure that Donna donated $4.99, says higher. With a picture of a cat, so I want to make sure that I don't miss that one out. Maybe I already said that, can't remember, but thank you, Donna, for that, and thank you guys for all of your donations, but also just for tuning in and spending a bit of time with me. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow night and Tuesday night if you are around. See you then. Rock.